Minnesota Vikings started the week picking up former Jacksonville Jaguar edge rushing extraordinaire Yannick Ngakoue. So, should the Vikings continue the trend of Duval to Minnesota? Should the Vikings consider recently cut a running back Leonard Fournette, a.k.a. Four Loko? I think that they probably should, because Zimmer wants to run the piss out of the football, so why not have as many run backs as possible to run said piss out of said football, right? So now, to address the two main questions that I'm sure will come up I imagine when we get angry comments, that's how they're like. So number one, why do the Vikings need more running backs? Shut your face. Number two, with what money? Shut your face, right? So Madison can obviously bring the thunder, as well as Dalvin's, no Austin Eckler himself, but the Vikings are missing that short yardage hammer, power running back, and that's why I got excited about talks of like, CJ Ham potentially being used as a tailback this year, because they're just missing that. And we've talked about it all offseason. But the Vikings are primarily an outside zone team, but that doesn't mean that you run zone at every single play, at every single running play. So last year, the Vikings ran outside zone 68% of their running plays. So nearly a third of the offense is still old school power slobber knocker running football. We're talking about dives, we're talking about traps, we're talking about power, we're talking about lead ISOs, all of that stuff. Man on man, kick your guy's ass and just drive forward, like old school 3 yards and a cloud of dust type football. So Fournette would fit that bill and would fill that role with the Vikings with a plum. So let's talk about him today. So Leonard Fournette, 6'1", 240, is only 25 years old, former 5-star recruit from New Orleans, Louisiana, but don't hold that against him. But yeah, he was the number one recruit in the 2014 class, as well as via the recruiting service 24/7. He's the number 16 recruit of all time. So it was a big deal. Stayed in state, committed to LSU, banged it out as a true freshman, 1,000-yard season. True sophomore year was the masterpiece. 1,953 yards rushing, 22 touchdowns. Probably would have been an extremely high draft pick if he was able to come out as a sophomore. Return to Baton Rouge. Junior season limited by injuries, and also some talk that maybe he was looking ahead towards the draft. It was just like, yeah. I don't really hold that against him. It was a smart business decision, if that's true. Combine only ran the 40 and did the vert. 4.51 at his size of the 40 is damn solid. The vert, the 28.5 inch, a little bit concerning. And also, at the time, the consensus amongst the draft community was Fournette skipped the 3-cone and short shuttle because, he said because of injury, but also I think it's because he would have tested poorly, which bears out on tape, right? But despite being a one-dimensional power running back, basically a diet version of Adrian Peterson, Jaguars still took him at number 4 overall, 2017 draft, ahead of Dalvin, ahead of Kamara, ahead of McCaffrey, ahead of Mixon was in that draft too. Man, damn! Also ahead of Watson and Patrick Mahomes too. By the way, just great. But started pretty good. Like him and Blake Bortles were just like rocking. Had a 1,000-yard season as a rookie with 9 touchdowns. Missed some time with injury in 2018. That's an overriding concern with Fournette, as well as 2019. Had a 1,000-yard season, but Doug Marrone, Caldwell, the Jaguars were just kind of done. I don't know what it is with the Jaguars. Like They've had a lot of turnover of some quality players. I'm not sure if I count Fournette as a quality player, but the standoff with Yannick, obviously, as well as Jalen Ramsey. Plus, they gave away Calais Campbell, like your only good player, for a 5th-round pick. It's confusing, but yeah. Oh, by the way, Fournette's career 4.0 yards per carry is very on brand. He's very much a plotter. And now the Jaguars are moving to more of a zone-based offense. Fournette really not a great fit there. They tried to trade him, but failed. I like Doug Marrone's comments on Monday. It was like, yeah, we tried to get like a 5th or 6th or anything for him. We couldn't do it. But also, this could be one of those spots where they cut him, but then a team comes in and gives them a late-round pick. Like what happened with the Vikings and P.J. Hall, what happened with Kalen Ballage, etc. But also, so with Fournette, you'll see the stats, and you see that he had 76 catches for 522 yards, but it's not because he's a great receiver. He is not. He is not a good receiving back. But Foles and Minshew last year just checked it down so often. It just accumulated, right? So he's about on par with Adrian Peterson in terms of being a receiving back. So, no. But is Fournette good? He's good in a specific role. Overall, not really. Yes, you do have to respect a guy who's had 2,000-yard seasons in the past 3 years. But specifically, if you're looking at him for a power running short yardage back, I think he'd be phenomenal. He's a horrible pass blocker. He's a horrible receiver. But as a complementary rollback, as opposed to being a running back one, I think that makes a ton of sense. So money-wise, I do think that Fournette will get through waivers because if a team really wanted him, I think it would have made sense that they would have given up a conditional seventh for his rights, but then also would have had to pay his final year salary on his rookie deal. So if a team claims him, they have to pay his $4.167 million base salary, as well as there's some consternation too, because Fournette was suspended, that he would that they voided the final year of his guarantee. So that's a mess there. I think teams will want to stay out of that. So if he gets through waivers, he'll be a free agent and he can pick and choose. And I don't think he's going to command a ton of money. I would be shocked if he gets more than $2 million a year, just because of he's one-dimensional, as well as teams just don't pay running backs anymore. But Washington obviously has a need with the Darius Geis mess. It'd actually be really ironic if he ends up on the same team as Adrian Peterson, because they're basically the same guy. Falcons would make sense because Thomas Dimitroff loves former failed first-round picks. Pairing him up with Gurley, okay. Bears makes a ton of sense as well, with David Montgomery getting dinged up. But he was one of the Jaguars that wish Yannick well wishes when he was traded to the Vikings. Yannick and Fournette are close friends, and so maybe Ngakoue can call him up and be like, hey, what's up? Hey, Four Loco. It's great here in Minnesota. This team is special. They want to run the piss out of the football. Yes, you're going to be sharing time with Dalvin, who's drafted behind you, as well as Alexander Madison. But, hey, there's going to be plenty of opportunities, especially short yardage, especially end zone stuff. So you can work that in, and you'll have a role as a power back. League minimum deal. Come join me in Minnesota. Let's go hoist a Jerome Barty, and then we can both have free agency and get paid. Son? Hello? Oh, I have AT&T. Click. Yeah. Frankly, I would rather have Fournette than Abdullah. So if Fournette clears waivers, which I think he will, I mean, making the pitch to Fournette, I don't think he's going to get a ton out there, which is great because the Vikings don't have a ton to spend. But a one-year league minimum deal, you're basically swapping out Abdullah's salary for Fournette's, so no harm, no foul there. I would be okay with that. I really, really would. So we'll see what happens. But your thoughts, Vikings, Leonard Fournette, Four Loco. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. We'll support that work. Pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.